I'll briefly cover the distinction between refugees and migrants, and I will also cover briefly what is meant by internally displaced people. These have precise technical definitions. I'll not give the definition word by word, but I will try to schematically explain the distinction between them. This is just an opening slide, just an opener. You can have a look at it. And now I come to the subject. Now, let us take countries. Say this is country A, this is country B, this is country C, and let me take one more country D. Now, suppose in a given country A, which happens to be in this case Myanmar, example of Myanmar we can take, and Rohingya crisis. So there is violence in a particular region, so there is a violence. There could have been disturbance in this region due to war or due to persecution. Now, violence and persecution are interlinked. So, persecution again has to be due to specific reasons. So, the disturbance in the region can be due to war, violence, or persecution. But we are taking example of Myanmar, so I'll be mentioning persecution most of the time. Persecution can be on account of religion. It can be on account of caste. It can be race. It can be ethnic. Caste is not a word which will be proper here because I am using in our context, but internationally recognized it will be religion, race, ethnic identity. So if the people are targeted on these grounds, it can be political identity also. Political ideology can also be the reason. So it can be political identity. So if on these reasons the set of people are targeted and there is a violence, there is a threat to their life, they would like to shift out from this region, and as a human nature they would like to move to a safer place. So they may move, so people who are here may move to another country, or they may move within their own country, or they may move, like instead of moving to country B they move to country C, and from country C they finally move to country D. This movement from country C to country D can be part of the continuous movement or can also be facilitated by international bodies. I'll come to that when we come to more detailed definition. Now, when the movement on account of these reasons, war, violence, persecution, leads to crossing over of the border by a section of people, then they are covered under the class of refugees. If they move within their own country, they will be covered under the class of internally displaced people, and internally displaced people need not be only on account of war, violence, or persecution. Internally displaced people can also be displaced because of natural disaster. So, natural disaster may cause the displacement, and logically, you can understand that if displacement takes place because of natural disaster, it is quite likely that people will shift within their own country to a different location. But if they are targeted, persecuted, then it is quite likely they may move out to a different country if they don't find any suitable shelter within their own country. But that doesn't happen in case of natural disaster. Natural disaster is can be location specific. So they can move within their own country. Now let us take one more category. So I have covered refugees, internally displaced, and this refugee category which I mentioned, which went to C, then went to D. I'll try to keep it in mind when I cover the solutions part. Solutions. We know that UNHCR monitors the refugee problems, and there are various methods by which the international bodies they try to resolve the problem. There are three broad categories. One is that they may be settled, integrated in the country in which they move, like within the country B, they may be integrated, or within country C, they may be integrated. Or another option is that international bodies they create pressure on the host country, means host country means from where they left. For example, on Myanmar, pressure is created to create such conditions which ensure the safety and security of the people who have moved out as refugees on account of violence, and they are reassured of their safety and security. Required social, economical, and political conditions are created for their return, then they may come back to their original country. The third solution is that they may be moved to another country. For example, suppose the migrants, not sorry, the migrants, see the confusion. Even I use the word migrant while saying it. They are refugees, not migrants. So this actually UN also is very particular. Interchangeable use of migrant and refugee is not correct. So suppose the refugees they came to India and we are not willing to take them for our own reasons. It may so happen that we may enter into some kind of an agreement or through an international arrangement. They may be settled to, they may be sent, Bangladesh may be willing to keep them because of the religious or affiliations, various reasons. So it may work out. So if they are shifted here, this is the third solution. So there are three solutions to the refugee problems: integration within the same country, repatriation means sending them back, and this is basically sending to the third country. Now, IDP have covered. The third category which I have to cover is the migrants, which I mistakenly use the word for refugees also, and in case in any of my sentence I have used the word migrants while talking about refugees, that you will understand. If from the context you can make out that I was talking about refugees, but I use the word migrants, then please understand it as refugees. So now I'll talk about migrants. Migrants are people who do not move on account of these grounds: war, violence, or persecution. They move due to different set of reasons, which can be environmental, which can be due to extreme poverty, livelihood issues, distress, can be because of drought, can be because of famine, can be because of work, can be because of family reunion. So you can understand these reasons are very different from the extreme reasons of war, violence, and persecution. So if the reasons are those which I mentioned here, then the movement, even if it happens across the borders, they will not be covered as refugees, they are migrants. And there is a different set of obligation. International bodies they treat migrants and refugees in different terms because, of course, the problem which is faced by refugees is more extreme. They, in a way, are coerced to leave their place, to move out, whereas that extreme nature of pressure is not there in most of the cases of migrants. So refugees have certain special entitlements, certain special international protections, which are not there to migrants. Internally displaced people also do not get that kind of protection which is available to refugees because IDPs are within their own country. So they have all their rights which are available to ordinary citizens of the country. So there is no need of any international instrument in case of IDP, which is required in case of refugees, which is also required in case of migrants, but the requirements in the case of refugees and migrants is different. So this is broadly the definition. I have tried to explain it. I have a couple of more slides by which you may be able to understand those things which I have mentioned in a better way. I'll skip through these very fast. This is the Global Compact, and These are the obligations, or these are the efforts which international agreements and arrangements make for reducing the stress on the refugees, for finding solutions to them. One is the ease the pressure on the host country. Now there is a origin country and there is a host country. They may be neighbor or they may move through various other routes. So from in the host country, when you have refugees, there is certain pressure, which is locally you will have economic, you will have environmental issues also, you will have social issues also, you have cultural issues, because integrating a set of community which is not belonging to the host country, which comes from a different country of origin, certainly the integration is not going to be so easy. So the international bodies, they try to reduce the pressure on the host country, try to support them, enhance the refugee self-reliance, so that refugees are able to take up some kind of activity by which they can improve their self-reliance till such means their solutions are found. Access to third country solutions, which I mentioned, like in case of Mayan, in case of Rohingyas, if they happen to come to India, that kind of situation. I'm not saying that is the solution in case that is not the official line, but hypothetically a situation may be created. Or let us take example of ABC country. Then support the countries in the conditions in the original country so that the refugees feel safe and secured. Create the kind of conditions, the safety security measures, which ensures the refugees that they can, which gives them kind of an assurance for their security so that they can go back. I have covered the definition of refugee, and across the border from 5 countries you have maximum: Syria, Venezuela, Myanmar, South Sudan, Afghanistan. These are the solutions which are again available on the website. I have already mentioned resettlement is moving to the third country, repatriation is sending back, and local integration, which I mentioned, to the host country, which is again not a very easy solution. Internally displaced people, I have already covered. They also cover the category because of natural disaster or internal strife, which is not there in case of refugees. But natural disaster is there in case of migrants. Migrants, they move to another country, but IDPs are within their own country. Who is a migrant? This can be the reason. They can hardship because of natural disaster, famine, extreme poverty. To alleviate their hardships, they may move out. They may move out because of education, because of family reunion. They may like to move out because of work. So these are the criteria for treating a person as a migrant, and which you can see very different from the criteria for the refugees. These are the principles of which are to be followed for giving the dignified life to the migrants. And this is the picture which shows the migrant camp in US. And the caption here is undignified and damaging conditions. These are certain rights which are to be provided to the migrants, like a right to work, to health, protection to their family, to better governance, access to justice, non-discrimination. So standard rights which are available to any citizens, those kind of rights are internationally recognized. It is not their claim, these are the principles. It is not necessary for the host country to follow it in strict, very strict sense. There can be deviations, but then of course there will be international pressure if the deviations happen. There are, of course, blurring boundaries between migrants and refugees now, because a person may move on account of complex reasons. There can be violence and there can be drought together, both of them. So this is one of the picture which shows that. Anyway, there can be complex reasons for particular migration, but the standard distinction between the migrants and refugees we have to keep in mind, especially if we are preparing for some higher level kind of exam. Thank you.